Nothing's working right. James Kaufman, World News Report today. I got it turned around. I think I have everything up, guys. It's going to be a freak show tonight. Let me know, Mike, if you can hear me. I'm pouring a little ginger ale on top of my vodka. I got the Grey Goose tonight because I got to quit drinking for a couple weeks as I on board to the big company. All right, ladies and gentlemen. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is October 3rd, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. So we have no action on any of the KP indexes. We're going to go through this quickly, but we're going to hit the important parts seriously. I'm going to leave some of this stuff up. Now, we do have a geomagnetic disturbance on the Fredericksburg Index, but nothing on the Boulder, on the estimated planetary that was just upgraded by NASA and NOAA, and the College Index shows nothing as well. When we take a look at the planetary KP Index, or estimated planetary KP Index, we have a 3 as the maximum, So we have not been impacted yet. If there's something inbound from the M7.6 and the X, well, I'm not going to try to name everything. We should see it pretty soon. Now let's hope that I captured this up. Current combo. We're going to watch these big flares happen real quick. Wow, it went right into place. That was the first time that's ever occurred. What I want y'all to do is watch this timeline here. Right about the end, right here, you're going to see that first X flare at the end of the first, right here. First Earth-facing X flare, lots of time missing, 7 hours missing off. Wow, so much time missing. And did we actually even get to see the second flare there? The third should be coming up. First, we'll have one come up this way. Did y'all see that weird? Wow, they're not even showing any of the third. They stopped it at 3. The thing went off at 12:20 UTC time on the 3rd. They know what I'm about to do to them, okay? I'm about to tell them they're full of shit, all right? I will say that look how fast Mercury's moving. Have you ever seen anything move this fast? Look how fast that planet's moving. You can see it here. It doesn't look like it's moving quite as fast. We are going to look at some stuff here. We'll get rid of this one as well. It's going to be a much better look for us. This is just going to start. And we've got some things here that need to be discussed, really. You see Mercury up to the left. This is the solar cover for LASCO. The sun is this yellow ring here. It's the size of the sun. And this has been here for months. I don't even think we're seeing reality right now. Again, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is October 3rd, 2024. I'm waiting to stop this because there's something that comes on the screen. I'm not quite sure what it is. Well, this is the second still. You can see the screen was cut there. And if y'all want to, there is, just FYI, that strange thing, and there's the planet that we saw right here, but it's going to get a lot worse than this. Something much larger than Mercury comes into the picture here. I don't know what it is, but we will stop and zoom in and take a look at it. You can see it looks like there's a war in space, right? Still the second. And we see what looks like meteors, hopefully meteors, comets everywhere. And now we're moving into the third here. And we're seeing a big explosion or a lot of plasma leaking on the 1 o'clock side. It just hit LASCO there. You can tell. Hit the camera. I'm looking for something in particular here. Still on the third. Now we're on the third. All right, first we'll see that 11 o'clock. Whoa, look what they're doing. It's all cut out. We'll see the 11 o'clock flare come up first. But before that, something comes on the screen here, and it's rather large. Now, this is not what I want to show y'all. This is just something I noticed that they forgot to take out. I don't know. We're waiting. It's going to be pretty soon. Remember, the big explosion happened at 12:20 UTC time today. 12:18 to be exact. So we're going to see something here that looks large. And I've been wondering all day what this is. We are going to zoom in. Well, first there's this, okay? And we'll zoom into this, but this is not the large item. But there is a trail of debris behind it, and I'm questioning what the heck that could be. Now, it just gets worse. Hold on. Unless they removed it, it should be coming up right before the explosion here. There's the, look, there's 3842. Here's going to be the big thing down here. I don't know what it is. Bigger than Mercury. Shows up. There's something. Well, there it is. Now let's zoom in. This is Mercury, a planet almost as big as Earth. And what in the F is this? Well, let's zoom in. This is not even what I'm here for, okay? I just want to know what the heck this is. Looks like two. It looks like something with something orbiting it. Do y'all see that? We'll go a little bit deeper here. Do y'all see the two balls? I mean, this is huge. It's bigger than Mercury. It comes up bigger than Mercury. Look at Mercury here. And look at this. What is it? Well, whatever it is, it occurred right before the X flare. If there was an X flare. I'm not so sure there was an X flare. I think both X flares. Now, this is 3848, and then hopefully I'm right there. 3848, and then 3842 is responsible for all the flares. We're going to play this slowly. So we saw 3848, and then we passed the 1220 mark. There's a sympathetic explosion again out of 3848, but then we have a halo explosion over the whole sun, directly Earth facing. I will show y'all NASA's, and you know what? What the hell is that? It's got a tail too. It's like another group of rocks or planets coming through. I'm not quite sure. We're just kind of having some fun here because we put this together for you guys. It takes some time to put all this together. And I mean, this was a huge, it's still shooting plasma, right? Look, it's 2142, and the explosion occurred over 12 hours ago, and plasma is still making its way around the camera. We see Mercury, that other planet or whatever the heck it was, disappeared, right? Look, more plasma coming out of the right side. Unbelievable, really. Unbelievable. All right. We're going to move on because there's some problems here. All right. They said strong, and they said severe, and they said X71. This is the older one. The older one. Let's see if we can get to the newer one real quick. Guess my Zoom, guys. And another R3 strong, and this is going to be our really 9.15 solar flare. They thought they might have to circle it for you guys, right? Ha ha ha. I was watching it as it happened. You know, I think Teresa can actually feel these things because now everyone wants to know what this is here, and George called me today about this. In September, both fall and spring, the moon eclipses for an hour or two our satellite. And I showed y'all the moon was in front of Earth. The moon's 220,000 miles away. Our satellites are 150 miles away. So these ones that go down that they fix with red now, these are eclipses by the moon, right? And that's what those are. Yes, I didn't even know that when I started. So, whoa, I had to ask as well. So don't feel bad for not knowing. Looks like we're in the midst of another X-flare to me right now. Right now. We'll update this because, hey, we're headed straight up right now. So this has been the biggest solar flare that we've had since 2003 on backside or front side. Of course, my question's got to be, why wasn't a proton storm created? I'm about to show y'all. Remember when they said the backside X8 created a proton storm in the whole solar system? They said it 2 or 3 times. Now, obviously, we should also see an electron storm. I'm about to prove to y'all that we see none of that. None of that. It looks like this is topping off into an M flare, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll leave it up. So an X, it was 9.15. They've downgraded it to a 9.05. We'll just say an X9. And it peaked at 1218, 1220 photographic memory, unfortunately. And then I will say that some of our subscribers, including our favorite friend out of New York, got this right. Now we have 2 Delta-class sunspots on the sun, Earth-facing. 2, not 1. 3842, which has been giving us all the heck, and 3844. And I think that 3848 will also be a Delta-class sunspot group. Now, I'm going to show y'all everything. And I'm going to put this in front of 2 or 3 scientists I know and some people that are much more trained than I am. X-class solar percentage, 35% chance. M-class solar, I want to show y'all something. Look at this. The first time we've ever run an M-flare baseline. It started yesterday at about 8 UTC time. We didn't lose it until today. We had it for over 16 hours. An M baseline flare. An M baseline flare. I'm going to leave this up because we're going to need it. We're not sure that we know what's going to happen here. Now they cut some of the earlier flares off. Let's look to see if they really weren't. Although this is getting into the M-class baseline. We had an M15 out of 3841, and I did point that out to y'all earlier. 42 is the Delta-class sunspot we've been dealing with that has produced 3 X-class solar flares. The X7.15, I believe, and the X9.15, now 9.1. And then all of a sudden, 3844, which I will show you right here, 3844 has become Delta Class 2, and it seems to have hooked to 3839, right? It's one big sunspot group. It's Delta Class. And, well, we're back to 2 Delta Class sunspots. We had another M6.7 solar flare at 2012 2028 or 2030 out of a beta gamma sunspot, 3843. Let's take a look at that. 4833. Right here. Very, very strange. Indeed. Nothing that has produced anything to that magnitude. Just an M flare. Then an M2.3 out of 44. 42 has been giving us trouble. 48's next up. You can see 48 down here. And then, obviously, this is 41. We just had that flare. Again, we're still current level, an M baseline, 1.5. I'm going to leave this up as well. So we have what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're not naming this yet, right? 11, 12, sunspots. It's getting nasty out there. Now, these are the problems we're going to have, okay? I'm going to go into a 7-day. So, anytime we had an X flare that they even claimed that was an X8 on the backside of the sun, and we've had this happen twice in the last 2 or 3 months, we had what's called a proton storm. Do y'all remember the little white dots? Like what me and Tiffany reported at 3 or 4 in the morning while we were up watching it the other night? That was a proton storm. Either they're holding information back and delaying it, and the only way we can prove this is through the Aurora Borealis and Aurora Australis. Although it's very easy for them to blow radiation up in the atmosphere and create the same effect as you would see. So you can't even believe that. Right? I told y'all, don't email me but once a day, or I will throw you off this channel. I don't care, okay? No matter how great of friends. There's 3 people that can email me more, or Tiffany doesn't email me. 2 people. First name, if your first name's Teresa or Caitlin, you can email me as many times as you want a day. And that's going to be it. I want to point something out here. We just had 2 X flares here, right? One on the 1st and one on the 3rd. But wait, the protons, they were Earth-facing. First off, we didn't see the white sparkly things. Now we did over here, I'm not quite sure what night that was, but it was before the X flare. So maybe they're holding information for a few days. But no one's seeing Aurora Borealis tonight, are you? Let me know if you are. We're not currently we should not be seeing radiation in the northern or southern hemisphere right now. But look, there's nothing. It doesn't even move from the baseline. All 3 of them goes 10 million volts, goes 50 million volts. They just added. Why would they have to add all of a sudden goes 500 million volts? Million volts of electricity. If that hits you, you won't remember your name. So if you're up in Washington State, those are the smell. I've covered that. Those are your volcanoes awakening, old man, young man, or madam. All right, Teresa, I'm watching the time. I want to show them this. And I've always shown y'all, if we're in a real space weather position, we'd have an electron count. I put it in the 7-day. The 7-day. We've never seen anything, not even breaking the lowest space weather threshold for 7 days. Electrons. And if you look at the last 3 days, they don't even come close. It's like when they say there's a solar flare, there's not one. And if they say there is, or isn't one, there is one. I mean, it's opposite day, as usual. Now, I just showed y'all, first, the proton didn't even bump up. How can you have an X flare with a halo CME and not have a proton storm? I've been doing this for 14 years. And I've called this out. I used to be able to nail it down to the hour before they manipulated the data because I got so good at it. If y'all remember, it all started with the Biden administration and the shutdown of that solar observatory in Denver. I was able to call. I said at 6:30 we'll be hit by the storm, and we probably will lose. It's such a strong storm, probably 2000 when it started, maybe 2001. And then Biden and them tried to point their finger at Russia, China, and Brazil for hacking us. When I already gave you all the exact time period, I got like 400 messages saying, James, you nailed it. Of course, they subscribe those people, and they can't find me. It's impossible to find me. You don't think my mom's told me? Look, is that the proton storm? There's got to be protons involved with a halo explosion, and there's got to be electrons, and there's not even an uptick, and there hasn't been in 7 days with all the M flares. We haven't even broke the lowest space weather threshold. I think this is a false flag to take your attention off what they're doing in North Carolina and off of Ukraine losing the war, and off the fact that Bibi just blew up a Russian munitions depot. When Vladimir Putin gets on the line, now y'all should wait for this, and says, I want all 1.5 million people. John, don't be afraid. I'll just kick your ass off. You know that. When Bibi says, I need all 1.5 million people, he's already evacuated his embassies in Israel. Hey, no one's sure if Israel or the U.S., I'm sure it was U.S. satellites, right, involved. And everyone thinks I was wrong about the airports being hit. Guess what? The satellite photos, again, from M Labs, Myler Labs, for some reason, there's a cloud cover over the 3 bases, but there's no clouds in the area when you go to windy.com. In other words, they nailed the fucking bases. They nailed, I heard about 25 of our planes from someone that's in the special forces that I know that's stationed in Israel. I said we had someone on the ground. That's what I meant. We have someone on the ground calling me, right? When I'm telling y'all something and y'all are believing governments, y'all should know better. All right, let's see what they're doing to us. All right, we're going to have to let Miss Teresa read. Give me 1 second, Miss Teresa. I apologize. All right, shields are up, which really is freak show. There's really no plasma besides a couple of 3 prints above 10 centimeters cubed. That's not even the space weather threshold, 10 centimeters cubed. And look, solar winds down here at 320. And why are they rising? Now, they didn't rise very far, and temperatures have always stayed mild to medium. Temperatures never rose. You can always go to temperatures if you want a telltale. And look at, there's no space weather here. There's been a touch here, and I can't explain why, right? There's no plasma or solar winds. Not really a touch here, but maybe a touch here, and I can't explain why. There's no plasma or solar winds. Look at where the plasma is. All right. What y'all need to really realize here is there was no proton storm from the X-flare, and there was no electron storm from the X-flare. And what that tells y'all is this all might be Memorex to divert your attention away from the election, or this is really what I think is going on. They're going to use these, what I think now, I think they're fake. Look at the 10 centimeters cube level here on ACE, another whole satellite, never got broken. They want to divert your attention away so that they can say that these two storms put the lights out for the election, because I don't think that they can cheat enough. Now, you have to realize that Trump got 84 million votes. Barack Obama at his prime got 64 million votes. And somehow Joe Biden, playing Mario Kart in his basement, got 84,500,000 votes and got the Electoral College. And we all know that's not true, right? If you don't, you need to go ahead and, get right with Jesus, because you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Excuse me. Solar wind started today at 325 and ended up below 400. We'll see what they say when I show you all that, right? What they say when I show you all that. All right. We already know all the sunspot groups. 3848 looks like a bad boy. 3, 6, 9, 10. Two more that should be named here. We'll keep going. Guess what? We've got an asteroid inbound. Yes, we do. I believe it's for tomorrow. And it just passed midnight. But the solution date was, i.e. today. I just didn't have time to tell you guys. My apologies. Only 22 observations over 2 days. Condition code 6, right? So I'll show you all the close approach. It's a very close approach with a big rock. And I will zoom in and show you all. That is Earth and the rock, pretty much you can't tell one apart from the other. This is 2024 TF. That's the name of it. I don't know why it's named that. And I will show you some close approach data. And out of 22 observations, they extrapolated so much information here. October 4th, 0.002. So it's not going to be a super close shave, but it's going to come closer to the Earth than the Moon. And we're talking about a big rock. And let's see what the angle looks like. It's all about the angle. The angle does not look bad at all. But it's sad that the solution date, and really it was the 3rd when we started this video, is the 3rd. And they've only had 22 observations. It was seen by automatic here. And the condition code is pretty high here at 6. So they're not quite sure where it's headed. I'm going to show you all one or two more slides. Actually, let's do a Bible reading here. And let's all realize that they're lying to us. Did you all see the X flare? They're lying to us because there's so much going on around the globe right now. This is the distraction, and I hate to be a part of it. How I know it's a distraction? Because they didn't go into the smaller tools. Like, you have to go way into the program 4. They didn't go into the smaller tools like the electron surge that we should have seen. They didn't go into the smaller tools. Let me get some juice on this real quick, Miss Jason. Didn't go into the smaller programs. They only were so lazy, as they always are. They only covered the larger programs. I'm actually going to move this mic a bit. All right. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Who am I speaking with?
Good evening, it's Teresa.
Are you okay, Miss Teresa?
I'm wonderful.
Do you think I'm on or something, or am I being...
As always, what is the shadows?
The studio hand, the production assistant. I mean, let's get real. let's start to get real here, right? Is it real or is it Memorex? And let me put a poll up before we do this. Now,
There's no guessing. It's Memorex. It's all memories. It's all stuff you have seen before, and you recognize it because you've seen it before.
I've seen this for 14 years, and it's not making any sense this time.
Did you plug in your phone?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone can hear you. I need your permission.
You have my permission.
Or Memorex. There was the other X Flare, guys. I'll put a question mark and make it pretty for you guys, and then we'll put the poll up. Now, I'm going to actually shove this in front of NASA and NOAA tonight, and a guy that I trust that's an ESA scientist that's on one of the deals, and he's real straight up. I'm going to ask him why there's no proton storm with this. And hey, like you said, the whole whatever that is moving the camera. If a rock would have hit it, the rock would have gone right through LASCO, because the rocks are moving at 24,000 miles an hour, right? So it's more than that. It's more than that. Can everyone hear Miss Teresa okay? Miss Teresa, will you speak?
I hear you fine.
All right. Y'all let me know, because there's only a quarter foot off, but usually I put you right up to the... Now, I got the best microphone we can get, but make sure everyone can hear you, because I believe that your readings are some of the most important things that I do every day, and I want other people to enjoy them as well.
Are we going to open this book?
I think that you're going to be in charge of opening this book, and maybe it'll tell us. Now, we'll let the poll go, but I want to say, before she opens the book, that do y'all remember the 3 X flares, the X8 and the X whatever, that went off the back side, and we still got a proton, look at that X flare, we still got a proton storm on this side of the, and they said it was the whole universe, but these flares are bigger. There's been no protons, except for 2 days before this, one day before the first X flare, when me and Tiffany were up late, and all of a sudden I said, "What is going on here?" That was what a proton storm looks like. Those white, whatever they are, they're protons. And then to watch the...
She said it looked like a window. It was just you and Tiffany talking.
Oh, I know it was. You saw my message, right?
I did.
And I couldn't believe the other one said that, but whatever floats their boats, right? But my real question here is, how would an X flare that's smaller than these two twice send a proton storm towards Earth? They said it went around the whole. You see these X flares? Now, I'm not only using one satellite, I'm using five satellites to show you these X flares. But when I get into other satellites that they didn't cover, like the electron flux and the proton flux, they forgot to make them bump up. You understand that?
Yes.
So they covered the visual, but they didn't cover the data parts of the deal. And I've been doing this so long that I went there expecting to see a proton jump. Even if it didn't hit the space weather level, I would have been fine with it. I kept waiting all day today, expecting to see the little white things come our way, right? Come our way.
And they didn't show up.
And neither did they for the first X flare, which was a huge X flare, right? That was the second biggest one in 23 years. This was the biggest one in 23 years, right? And so there's no protons. Now, how do you have, and we know there was a coronal mass ejection, or we know that they showed us on core for sure. Core seems to be the only thing that is working, but LASCO 2 tonight, LASCO showed that huge halo coronal mass ejection. Now, I did say that the Aurora Borealis and Australia Borealis could be some way we could determine it. You should see this shit in Texas, because we saw it last time with a much smaller flare, right? But what if they dump radiation into the atmosphere to create it? Is that a possibility?
Well, if you suggested it, then it is.
Well, and they listen to me, trust me.
Hey, I sent you a love picture. Did you get it?
A what, ma'am?
A love picture?
Whoa, I did not, but I love you. For sure.
I emailed it, so you should have it.
All right.
And it was actually love from God.
That's awesome. You know, he's got my back. We talk often. And he wants...
And he walks with you and he talks with
He talks through me. Although he wants me to settle down. And that's why he's put me in this situation that I'm headed towards. So, again, guys, even if I onboard for the major oil company, we're still going to go live. You know, I can't not go live anymore. It's almost addictive. But it's more so that I need to expose the lies, because they might use these two flares, and maybe a third one that's inbound, to say, hey, they screwed up the election machines or whatever these flares did.
Because they're doing early voting right now.
Oh, and hey, if the Teresa, did you get a chance to watch my report on lithium, rare earth, and iron, and the...
Yes, I did, and I shared it.
Well, you know, other people knew about lithium, but I showed them that was the most pure iron in those two.
And crystal.
And
That's not very far from Tiffany.
It's pretty far from Tiffany. Tiffany's got some good crystal up there she sent me, but let me say, that's the crystal that all the microchip companies in the world use. It's the clearest or cleanest, and they use it for these supercomputers. And do you think the government thinks that they look at y'all as hillbillies? They look at me as a hillbilly, okay? And they've been in court. When I finally looked last night, when we hung up last night is when I did the report. I spent 2 hours looking, if you notice the time. And I realized that the homeowners refused to sell their land or lease their land.
Did you see that thing I sent you on that meeting with the government in Castle Rock?
Was it from 21 or 22?
You'll have to tell me, because I sent it to you saying, is this true?
Well, I watched like 20 of them last night, and all the...
This was from today. And
right.
It was that they informed the residents that the whole town will be bulldozed.
Oh, actually, I got that from someone else, and I was sworn not to tell y'all. Y'all gonna hear about it on the mainstream media in the next 72 hours.
I saw the memo from the meeting.
Well, this was someone I know in the military that sent me this, and he sent it to me on an application that erases messages in like 60 seconds after I read them. And he told me, James, you need a heads up. They're about to announce that they're going to condemn, and then they're going to either give or sell all this to the mining company. Now, y'all love Elon Musk, but he's...
I mean, if you want to read it right now, I emailed it to you.
I spent 2 or 3 hours last night reading it. I know everything they're up to.
So you know it. Okay.
I know my report wasn't very detailed because it was, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I gave everyone a picture of the mines, a picture of the two counties, enough gist to realize what's going on. And the whole thing is a shit show. And if y'all love Elon Musk and want to hold him up on your shoulders, realize he already signed a contract with the same mining company that's been in court with the landowners who refuse to lease or sell their property because they like their farm. Or I know it's mountains, but I'm doing this for Teresa. Farm, ranch, mountains. They like their property. They don't want it ruined. And mining ruins everything, okay? And just to know that they have rare earth, and I showed y'all every mine on my video, just to know that they have quartz, the only quartz that the supercomputers can use because it's so pure clear. And just to know, there's gold there too, by the way, anywhere there's quartz. And you saw the gold mines, hopefully. And just to know that the biggest lithium deposit in the United States, which Elon Musk already signed a contract with a mining company, which I can prove. I looked at that last night, about threw up. I'm like, he's playing both sides of the field here. He's giving them Starlink, but he already signed a year and a half ago the contract with a mining company for the lithium under the 2 counties that are flooded. Now, how do counties that are in the mountains flood? This is not a 100-year floodplain. This is like a 7 million year floodplain. I think I got it back. Let's see if I can hold it. Maybe not. Please turn back in. Tune back in. Oh, they took us down. Shit. I'm getting a lot much into what they don't want to hear, Miss Teresa. Stick with me. It'll only take 1 second.
Okay, dear heart.
Hopefully, can you believe that I am exposing everything as usual?
Yes, I believe it.
It's my job. Everyone thinks it's my job. I can't believe they just took us down. All right. I think we're coming back up live. All right. I pulled it together here. Unbelievable. All right. I've got to fix the chat and stuff. That was me pulling off something. Something that.
Thank you, God.
Yes. That's what I meant to say. I wanted to read this real quick before we go any further, guys. That's what they... Is it real or Memorex? Yes, it's real. No, it's not real, I'm guessing. So, a good count. Out of 424 people, 82 people, 98 people watching when the poll was done, only 17 people are not afraid to vote. And that really is scary, right? So hopefully everyone knows that we're back on, and I caught it. I don't know how I caught that, but we'll take it, right? All right. I was tight.
You got the chat?
We got chat and everything, but let me make it a little bit more pretty for you guys, right? I'll pop chat out. Pop it out. Y'all have no idea how many steps I do every day. Thanks for all the super chats and coffee tonight. I really appreciate that during my 18-hour day. That was sarcastic, by the way.
I was going to say I didn't see any.
All right.
Everybody's just broke, honey.
I know they are, sweetie. I know. 1 Corinthians 10. I know they appreciate it. Or if they don't, they're silly and dumb, but hey. All right, thumbs up and sharing is just, if you can't afford to do anything, I can see at the end of the month who all shared and how many times you shared and everything. And there's 20 or 30 of y'all that are awesome. But there's a lot of folks that never share, never give a thumbs up, never do anything. Google gives me all that at the end of the month, so I know who's who, okay? And I'm not holding against you, but at least give us a thumbs up. because we're working our butt off to get y'all the truth about the mining companies. They've been in court since 2021. That's what they were so mad about me about to tell y'all. And they can't get the land because there's no eminent domain. Do you know what that means? Eminent domain means the government takes over something for a highway or a government purpose. But you know what? This is a financial purpose. It has nothing to do with the government. Although I guess it does now, right? It does now. See if I'm in the right place. I'm sorry, and I want y'all to finish out this this space weather with me after we're done here, because I have more to say, and I need to put this in front of. Although NASA and them might hate the Bible, well, they'll answer my questions, or they'll look silly because I'm going to name them. And they'll get it on Twitter and they'll get it on Facebook. All right. Warnings from Israel's history.
Or, I do not want you to be ignorant of the fact, brothers, that our forefathers were all under the cloud, and that they all passed through the sea. They were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. They all ate the same spiritual food and drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that accompanied them, and that rock was Christ. Nevertheless, God was not pleased with most of them. Their bodies were scattered over the desert. Now these things occurred as examples to keep us from setting our hearts on evil things as they did. Do not be idolaters, as some of them were.
Let me just say one thing. Tiffany, Lee, do it one more time, and you will never be on this channel again. I have that power, okay? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got you the first time, okay? I'll only say it once. All right, I'm sorry. It's not Tiffany Hartman.
Of course not.
No, ma'am.
But these things occurred as examples to keep us from setting our hearts on evil things as they did. Do not be idolaters, as some of them were. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and they got up to indulge in pagan revelry. We should not commit sexual immortality as some of them did. And in one day, 23,000 of them died. We should not test the Lord as some of them did. And they were killed by snakes. And do not grumble as some of them did. And they were killed by the destroying angel. These things happened to them as examples, and were written down as warnings for us, on whom the fulfillment of the ages has come. So, if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. No temptation has seized you except what is common to man, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it. Therefore, my dear friends, flee from idolatry. I speak to sensible people. Judge yourselves what I say. It is not the cup of thanksgiving for which we give thanks, a participation in the blood of Christ, and is not the bread that we break a participation in body of Christ, because there is one loaf. We who are many are one body, for we all partake of the one loaf. Consider the people of Israel. Do not those who eat the sacrifices participate in the altar? Do I mean that a sacrifice offered to an idol is anything, or that an idol is anything? No, but the sacrifices of pagans are offered to demons, not to God. And I do not want you to be participants with demons. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of the demons too. You cannot have part in both, the Lord's table and the table of demons. Are we trying to arouse the Lord's jealousy? Are we stronger than he? Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything is constructive. Nobody should seek his own good, but the good of others. Eat anything sold in the meat market without raising questions of conscience. For the earth is the Lord's, and everything in it. If someone believer invites you to a meal and you want to go, eat whatever is put before you without raising questions of conscience. But if anyone says to you, this has been offered in sacrifice, then do not eat it. For the sake of the man who told you, and for the conscience sake, the other man's conscience, I mean not yours. For why would my freedom be judged by another's conscience? If I take part in the meal with thankfulness, why am I denounced because of something I thank God for? So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all with the glory of God. Do not cause anyone to stumble, whether Jews, Greeks, or Church of God, even as I try to play, for I am not seeking
views. Probably did 30,000 views today, but I get so many more views if I didn't go live because YouTube already told me. They told me, we don't want you going live. Too much is going on.
Remember that under the cloud means that we're under God's leadership and guidance, and his guidance will never fail us.
And obviously, he gives me my next direction, and Miss Teresa knows this, every single day.
He's our rock.
He's definitely my rock, and that's why I look so much forward to you reading this, because I'm learning. You know, I grew up as a Catholic, so I thought I knew the whole Old Testament, New Testament. I didn't know any of it. Now, I knew, the top 100 sayings, if you will. But, with Miss Teresa, we're learning every single chapter. Now, it might take us years. We might not be here when we're done, but at least we're making our best effort to learn the Word. And last night, we actually, again,
You asked the question, so I had to find the answer, I guess, because I was like, okay, we got to read again, and it was the answer to your question. So it just reminds you, just ask.
And it was actually answering my question on everything. And he gave me the path that I have to follow now, because he wants the best, probably for Caitlin, you guys, me. He gave, and if y'all pray like
Dr. Joey, hi, honey.
DJ.
Why don't you just get an assisted living administrator's license, and that way you can just write off your home.
He writes it off anyway. It's Dr.
We
Joey.
love you, Dr. Joey. I love you, honey.
He's self-employed. He writes it off like I do. I'll always keep the YouTube channel open because if I'm making $250,000 a year, I want to be able to.
Nowhere else it's going to get any better care. That's for sure.
With DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Me and DJ talk all the time, and he's had
I'm sending him all kinds of love.
You guys, and I don't know if he wants me exposing this. It's not really exposure, but he's lost his father this year. He's lost his aunt this year.
He has been through it this year.
And if y'all only knew, he has health problems that make my stroke when the light hit my room, if y'all remember that.
He's a very strong man.
He actually is very strong, and I think sometimes he doubts that, but I never doubt him. When I need
I
advice,
see his heart. He's such a beautiful person.
when I need advice, I'll mostly call DJ if I need hard advice, right? Like someone to call me out, I call Dr. Joey, right? And often I need that, and he always calls me out. He has no hesitation.
She can have her medications at 11. You're in within your time of 1 hour. It's good. Give them to her at 11.
Well, DJ, it's just great to have you. We're gonna finish this. Now I want to. I want you. No.
Much love.
Unless you're tired, I love you and want you to
I
stay.
love you too. Good night to everyone.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you.
All right, let's get DJ to call in if we can. I'm going to try to call him. He's going to come up with some silly excuse why he can't take the call. Y'all can bet on this, okay? That's why they always call me. Always right? Dr. Joey knows. Dr. Joey did some referrals for my daughter when she broke her collarbone, got me into a specialist without having to go for one visit. Saved my family a bunch of heartache and crap, and he's done more than that for my family. My father even knows who he is, and we all really appreciate who he is. Now, Dr. Joey, there's something I want to ask you. The ex-wife, she's put on some weight, and they put cortisone injections into her, and they can only do it once every 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. DJ, are you okay?
You're wrong this time, and yes, you can take me live.
All right, I got a question for you on the medical side, okay? So
All right.
the ex-wife, she's gotten very heavy, like over 200, right? When I met her, she was 110, right? And so they put cortisone injections in her left knee twice, and the doctor's great. Same one that did my daughter's shoulder. He's great. I won't lie to you. He even let me lie about being inoculated so I could get in there. And he knew. He winked at me. But this is a question. Now she's taking a shot that costs over $2,000 tomorrow. And it's a substance or liquid it's not that I hate her. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, right? We have a daughter, a 13-year-old daughter. It's like a substance that replaces, I guess, cushion in her knee. And
I had it done.
I don't know what it is. It's supposed to last 1 year, and it's $2,400.
I only ever needed the one injection of it.
Did you have the cortisone in your knee before that? The cortisone didn't work.
One cortisone shot, but then
So why?
2 weeks later, I fell in the garage and landed right on my knee.
So why does the doctor say she can't have any more cortisone?
So each joint, you're only allowed 3 injections a year into that joint.
And he's very strict. He's too.
Because it breaks down the connective tissue.
So
It takes the pain away.
right, but it's not
If you
taking.
keep doing it, it's going to make the joint worse. So if it's a knee, they go in there and they rough up the end plates of the bones, and they inject this gel that
It's a
stimulates
gel.
the stem cell
It's a
to
gel.
grow more cushion.
Now remember, guys, I told y'all if y'all didn't see the picture, Dr. Jerry, how horrific was my daughter's collarbone break?
Oh my God.
It was the worst we've ever seen. First day of camp. Luckily, the doctor that DJ actually got us through to him, he had every sports star in the whole world from every team on the walls with signed pictures saying, "Thanks for getting me back in the game," right? And
Yeah.
here's a good guy. So what is this gel shit she's taking tomorrow?
It's actually a stem cell.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That is.
It's a stem cell injection that stimulates the body, because wherever you inject it, it will stimulate that tissue to grow more of itself. So they put it in the meniscus, they put it in the bone end plates. It'll do the cartilage covering of the end plate of the bone, and it'll regrow that cushion between it, like disc material. Like in the knee, they call it meniscus, but in your back, it's called the vertebral disc. You know, it really works. Now, having said that, it did not hurt to have it done, but for 2 weeks, I wanted to kill that fucker.
Why?
Because they go in and they rough up the end plate of the bone.
With
and
how do they go
they
in?
put so much in there. There's so much pressure in that joint capsule. It's very painful. But at 2 weeks, it's like someone flicked a switch, and it was gone, and it has not returned.
And
it was amazing. 2 weeks.
So they did say it would last over 2 years, and they refused to give her any
But
more.
I mean, the pain from the procedure that I felt that night after I had it done,
God,
I wanted to kill that doctor.
I should go pick up Caitlin tomorrow morning.
Yeah. She needs to stay quiet off her leg, blah, 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 right? As much as she can, but she still needs to move around, right? Because that pumping action,
So
discs push out all the bad material when you're in gravity, and then they fill back up at night when you're out of gravity.
So we're not married, but obviously we were together for 15 years, and we have a 13-year-old, 16 years probably. We have a 13-year-old, so I still don't want her to anything.
You don't want her to suffer.
Right, so
That's just going to make her miserable, and then she'll overreact to every other situation, right? Because she's in so much pain.
And he said it the right way. I'm really worried about me.
You, Caitlin, the neighbors.
My father, who might come down on her.
When someone, and the knee is tricky because, it's like two toothpicks standing end to end trying to balance, right?
Well, they're already talking about a replacement knee, and she's 52.
That is, I know, but there's a different angle on women's knees that wear out differently than a man's. A man's are straight up and down, but from the pelvis, the hip has a different Q angle, is what they call it, a Q angle.
So I watched something
And
about the
it puts
pelvis.
more pressure on the knee meniscus.
The woman's pelvis is actually wider than a man's pelvis.
Yeah,
I
it
learned
has to
about
put
that.
a watermelon through it, so,
Yeah,
or a cantaloupe. Let's call it a cantaloupe.
let's call it something else. Can you believe, guys, that this comes real close to Earth tomorrow on the 4th? I guess it's the 4th today. And let's see what time we've got here. Luckily, it's 1838 minus 7 to bring it to Central Time. About 11:38 tomorrow morning, a big rock flies by Earth in between Earth and the Moon. And
How close to the Earth?
half and half between.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Unless it hits that other moon, we have, and
The
shots into us.
other channels cover shit that's like 2 million miles away. I'll only cover a rock if it's coming between the Earth and the Moon. And when people send me stories, I call them stories from like Paul Bigley and all these people, I said, hey, that's 2.2 million miles away. Yes, a large rock, but it won't be back for 1,000 years, and it's 2.2 million miles away. It's like they don't realize that I see everything and check everything. How many times a day?
Okay, it's all right.
How many times a day you think I check it, DJ?
Probably 100 times a day, because you sit in that chair and only get up to pee, get water, or drink, or go get your meal.
Well, not anymore. I'm about to be back. Back in trouble.
But you'll just have lunch catered.
Right.
It's not like you're going to take a lunchbox
And a
to
driver.
work. I mean, let's call a spade, James.
Jerome asks, can I be your driver? I said, Jerome, they do background checks. And I didn't even want to tell him, even, I shouldn't even say that, so I'll pass.
If he's like me and had to drive high-ranking officials around occasionally, can you drive defensively while firing a weapon?
Well, they won't let anyone with a felony even into where I live. I snuck him into where I live. He doesn't realize
I have a better chance
that.
of being his driver, Jerome.
I had to sneak you in, Jerome, if you're listening, because I know you listen tomorrow morning. There's a big rule here that no one here, and it might have not been your fault, although you told me it was, and that's not a big deal for me. Obviously, I let you stay at my house for several days and didn't care one way or another. I respect you, and I can read people very well, so I knew that you were who you said you were.
Given all the stuff that's happening that we're seeing now in the courts, in the U.S., in the politicians, in the school system, how many people were put away that shouldn't have been put away? And how many people are still in power that should be put away?
And you know what? Why was this lady that just practiced the law in Colorado and it's against federal law to take the information off your voting machine until it's audited for, I think, 3 years or something. She put it on thumb drive. She's doing 9 years. 9 years as of...
That was the one that was trying to prove the tallies were changed.
She knew, not prove, she knew that.
Saw them changed.
She saw them changed, and 9 years is what she got. Now, if
But she won't be 9 years.
Luckily it's state, not federal. If you get a federal charge, guys, and you get 9 years, you spend every single day in there. State charge, 9 years is 1 year. Okay, that's just kind of how it works. Not that I've done more than an evening in jail, but that's too much for anyone. Trust me. Jail's nowhere anyone wants to be. How's Oregon treating you, sir?
Well, Washington is okay.
I mean,
Your aunt's in Oregon.
you're right. I think about y'all as the same way.
You just look at us as the Pacific Northwest.
I do. I always think about the Cascadia. Did you see? And I didn't cover it. I should have for you. I'll show Dr. Joey right now. There's been 3 big quakes again today. Well, they erased them.
It's kind of weird because they're up around Vancouver Island, which is Canada, but it follows that fault that goes
There's a fault
through
that comes
Seattle all the
through.
way to Yakima, right in between Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. So,
And really, we've seen.
and the Juan de Fuca. So,
Tell me this. Did you smell what all my aunt even told my dad? That's his sister, and everyone told me y'all smelt something burning or something.
yeah,
for 2 or 3 days. Did you smell that or no?
Yeah, we have. And I've been, because I had a couple burn piles, and I'm like, no, they're out. They're completely out.
That's a freak show.
So last week I burnt a couple, burn piles. But they've been out for days and days and days. So, yeah, it's weird.
So, does it smell like sulfur, or what does it smell like?
It smells like, when you strike a match.
So that's sulfur. That's sulfur smell.
Okay.
I would
So
call
when I
that.
think of sulfur, I always think of the medicine, and it doesn't quite smell like that, but this is a little bit stronger.
Probably the Cascade.
Even Isaiah, when we walked out in the morning, right? He's like, "What's burning?"
So everyone has told me that. Out of everyone that
It's
lives
been
there,
really foggy.
we have
And
hundreds of
it's
subs.
almost like a mist in the morning, but it's not raining. It's the fog. It's a wet fog, and it stinks.
Remember, last night I showed y'all we're under a heavy fog warning. I don't know if you're watching or not, but we
I watched for a little while, but I fell asleep exhausted.
Right.
I woke up, and it was on your channel, but it had ended.
Well, let me say that everyone that there's, we have a few subscribers from the Northwest, especially Washington and Oregon, and not that many from California because of some of my previous stories. We got Stoffel. But they all said that they smelt that same burning or matchstick type smell. I said, that's got to be those volcanoes awakening. I'm so surprised it took them this long.
But the air is so heavy that it's actually pushing it down into the valleys, right? That's the only way we would smell it, because there's no wind. That's why we were allowed to burn.
So y'all are getting no burn bans. Y'all are getting permits to burn.
Yeah, because there's no wind, but we wake up in the morning and there's this fog that has rolled in from the ocean, but I'm 80 miles inland.
But it's because, although they're really upper level lows, the temperature in those lows are pretty low, and then your temperature's
It's 40 degrees in the morning when I get up. Damn near froze to death.
that's I would kill for that. I picked up, of course, not my steak dinner, but my grilled chicken, broccoli, and mashed potatoes I haven't eaten yet. And the ladies, I was like, it's kind of nice out here. And she goes, hey, James, great to see you. They love me up there. And she goes, yes, it's been so great. And I said, and I pointed at my dashboard. I said, it's really 88 degrees here. And we're all thinking that this is cool. And she...
Right, because you guys have been frying all summer.
Yeah, she said, tomorrow I might have to wear my jacket.
You laugh, but when I was in the Persian Gulf, right, it'd be 130, 140 during the day.
Right?
But at night, we would put on our parkas,
Right.
with liners, because at 90 degrees, it's a 50-degree temperature change. You're freezing.
Well,
Your body can't adapt, even as a young person, right? I was 21 when I went to the Gulf, so you can't adapt to 50-degree changes, and that's what we do here.
and that's what
It's
makes me so...
40 in the morning, and then you're just taking all the layers off as you start working.
And that's what we get here in Texas, as you know, probably. it starts out sometimes at 35 and end of the day at 75, and that makes you sick. It makes your body sick.
That's because in Texas, you guys think, oh, well, it's going to be 75. I'm just going to wear my shorts and tank. Right? I'll just run to the car. But up here, we dress in layers, and it's like, whoa, so heavy. I miss the days of, just putting on a swimsuit and a tank and going to school.
Well, I will say that Texas is not what it used to be. It's really sad what's happened here. And
the country isn't what it used to be.
It's all about
I
Biden.
came here when I was a kid to see my grandparents and aunts and uncles. It was beautiful here.
I want your opinion, and I know politics are not your forte and you don't want to speak, but what do you think about this election? You've been with me a long time.
I don't even know that we're going to have one.
That's probably smart to think.
I don't know. I mean, we're coming up on the year anniversary of
07.
Hamas attacking it, right, October 7th.
And I want everyone to listen to what he just said. Don't go be in a mall. Don't be in a public place. You can take one day off and just relax, right?
They are running, our schools are running terrorist and shooter drills for the kids now.
So
Different alarm system, police response, sheriff responding, EMS responding. They're running these drills every week, like we used to do nuclear drills.
Oh, it was so funny when we got in the halls and tugged for the nuclear bomb. I mean, that ridiculous.
I'm like, why? So you can meld in with the cement cinder brick?
DJ, you probably don't read all the comments like I try to do that because I have respect for everyone, but we've got 2 or 3 ladies who have husbands that are SWAT, and they're doing special training right now, and they started about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they've been told.
I have the SWAT training center near my home.
Well, they've been told it's for the election aftermath. That's the stuff.
I don't think either side will be happy with the decision, with whatever it is.
Yeah,
if
but
Trump wins, half the country. But there's a lot of people out here that are waking up. And you don't see that on the news, but they're not in your face anymore. They're like, it's like their whole world has crumbled.
And let me say this. This is a fact. I should do a video on it tomorrow. We had the most gun sales ever recorded last month, and they were in the blue states. So they're arming themselves. For what? I don't know. You know what? We arm ourselves in the red states? Self-protection. That's it. Am I right?
Yeah.
And to protect our loved ones. Excuse me. Right? I don't know why they're arming. There were millions of guns bought in the blue states that broke every record this last month. And it kind of scared me. I was like, God, is this going to be another 1776?
Have you noticed, I know you don't watch a lot of TV because you're on the computer all the time, but all the television programs, they've been on this loop for like 3 years. There's nothing new. But lately, it's all aliens, terrorists.
You think they're going to play that?
They did the 1776 last night.
Did they?
The movie.
So, listen, guys, remember the card game that I put up, and I went over every card. What is his name? They took it down on YouTube, and all I did was show all the cards that he made in 1997 before the CIA raided his Austin business and didn't let the card game go live for 5 years, right? The Illuminati card game, and I've forgotten the name of the company. And, well, I think we're there, at least. At least.
We are there.
Yeah.
We are there.
Yeah,
So
we are there. Did you see how bad Saudi Arabia was treating the other Muslims from Palestine?
none of them want.
No
All
one.
those people that
all
live in
of
the
them.
Palestine areas, they're all trained.
Egypt
They
would
don't want them.
shoot any Palestine.
Jordan doesn't want them.
Jordan said they'd shoot any Palestine today. They came over. They hate them. I don't know what the difference.
Because they've all been trained and are revolutionary, right?
Extremist, I guess.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't want that in our country. We want peace in our country. Everybody wants peace. It's these leaders that don't want peace.
Well,
Because
what
they're
they
fighting for resources
well, and that's the only
and
reason.
kickbacks.
And I think that maybe Biden's done so many horrible things against children in the Ukraine that at some level it's being held over him and Hunter's head. And that's why we spent $180 billion. I looked it up yesterday. Some people say $200 billion. I came up with $183 billion. Billion, not million. And
And FEMA says they're out of money. Didn't we just go into a new fiscal year?
listen. Oh, you're so smart. Most people don't know the fiscal year is over on September 31st, and we just omnibus.
October 1st is the beginning of the financial year for the United
Well,
States.
on this channel, every channel, no one knows that but me
Everything
and you.
gets funded on October 1st.
So no
That's
one
right.
knows that.
When we were growing up, everything would shut down in October for Grand Rugman, right? Those Grand Rugman clauses.
Right?
Because they would never fund the government.
So you guys don't know, me and Duck Joey were born in the same year. We're a few months ahead, and I'm his older brother by a month or two. Am I right?
Yeah,
Right?
we'll go with that.
I mean, I would like to be his younger brother, but he told me not, so. I tried to push for younger brother because I really did think that, but he proved me wrong as usual. So, well, let's hope. Did you watch any of the biblical stuff that the very smart preacher allowed me to play 3 times here about the 8th and 9th of October?
I haven't yet because I just got in the aunt that had the total knee replacement.
God, this guy's.
Getting them all settled. I get another aunt on Tuesday after her lung surgery.
God.
So I will have Mom and her 4 sisters and Jackie, my sister, and then of course I have to get up with the boy to make sure he gets off to school. So, but I'm going to give you a good laugh.
The parents were
Are you
breeders.
ready? Are you ready for a good laugh?
We all need one.
So Isaiah goes, okay, I'm going to take Grandma's car today. And I was like, that's fine.
What does she have?
Grandma had driven my Cadillac the night before and didn't pull it all the way up to the wall. So I thought, okay, well, he can back out. There's plenty of room for him to back out. He pulled in the night before with the car.
Oh no.
So I go out and I'm letting the one dog go to the bathroom and I'm standing there watching him back up. He doesn't know I'm there. And he gets the back end past, all the alarms and everything past the Cadillac. And then he turns a little bit. And the wheel well clipped my Cadillac. So he not only damaged Grandma's car, he damaged mine. Going 1 mile an hour, backing up in our driveway. And I'm sitting there waving my arms like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
My friend is selling me this car for $500, It's a Hyundai. It's a 8-year-old Hyundai with 120,000 miles on it. And
I love my Hyundai.
hey, it's a lesson for my daughter. She thinks that everyone's rich, so I already bought the car. Okay, I won't lie to you guys. It's still at his house, but he bought a new Bronco, the big one,
Right.
with the big wheels and stuff, not the Sport. But I
Have
said,
you seen the new Pontiac GTO? I sent you a.
oh, I did see that. It's got
That
an
looks good, doesn't it?
old school look to it, right?
It does. It reminded me of drag racing my brother in his Camaro. I had a Ford Mercury, and he had a Chevy Camaro. So mine was an 8-cylinder, so of course I blew him away. But
Right. Well, there were times when even the IROCs were only 278 horsepower. My last hot rod convertible was 745 horsepower with 780 pounds of torque. It was a 2.8 second car. It was a
this car looks sharp, though,
Right.
and you can get an 8 in it.
now. I see
You can
that.
get a hybrid. You can get a 6.
You know,
You can get a shift.
they did the same thing with the Ferraris this year. And you know what I'm looking at by that statement? They made them old school looking.
You are too tall to get into a Ferrari.
They made them old school looking with a lot of curves instead of that. I mean,
Right? That straight edges.
there's no more straight edges on those Ferraris
No.
anymore.
I think the curves look better.
I thought I was looking at 20-year-old cars and they were 2024, 2025 cars. I was like, shit, these are the new ones, not the old ones. So, I don't
I
need
don't
it.
want to feel like a sardine in a car anymore.
I'd rather have a big old SUV and trample over. I had some truck get up behind me, and everyone knows I've got a gun on my hip. And I didn't get out of my lane. I was first on the left. I turned, didn't get out of my lane. He honked at me. I really wanted to pull up, roll down the window, and just fire. I won't lie to you. But of course, I would not do that. Instead, I watched where he turned off the dead end here in the Woodlands. And, well, that fancy truck has a very short life to it. Prove it.
Bad things can happen on dark dead ends.
Bad things can happen when you go crazy. Not only to me, I followed him really tight, got his license plate number because I wasn't called police because I didn't know what I'd done, right? And then he did the same thing to like 50 other cars. So I don't know if he was a kid. I don't know if he was late for
He was just an ass.
just an ass. But I made sure to mark
What
him.
happened to Southern Hospitality? Where is it?
Well, we had all the people from Maryland and New York move down here.
Well, you didn't tell me they had a Maryland license plate.
These people next to me in the condo, 2.5 years later, they all have Maryland. I could actually turn them in for having Maryland license plates. I'm not going to do that, but you have to have your.
You still have to get into your house, right? From the
Well,
parking lot.
you've seen my shotguns and machine guns.
I know, but you're running in flip-flops carrying your dinner.
That's absolutely true. That's what I laughed. I love this motherfucker. I won't lie to y'all.
I had to call in as soon as you said, he's going to come up with any excuse not to pick up the phone.
Well, you know
I'm
what?
always right.
I don't care what anyone thinks, but when you help my daughter out, my dad and me would go to, you know what I mean. We'd make a call for you. You know what I
I'm
mean.
just, we're almost, 30 days? Tomorrow's the 4th. We're 30 days out from the election.
I think it's 32, but we're close.
The 4th? Yeah.
Yeah.
November 5th? Isn't it the 5th or the 6th? I don't know.
This is a 31-day month.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I'm being onboarded probably this month. And I'm like, gosh, if the missiles start flying, should I onboard or not? I mean, I guess I should.
You should, because you'll have the protection of the big company behind you.
Right. And Dr.
At
Joe,
least you get you and Caitlin out.
Dr. Joe knows who I go with and what position I have as VP. So I could probably get me and Caitlin into something safe.
Right.
That's the only reason. Really, I'll never give up with my nightly life. So never give up on me, guys. I've got too much dedication, and God's driven me to do this. If y'all only knew how much great stuff I had reported and y'all never got to see.
But we did get to see even those 14,000 that they...
Well, even you didn't, DJ. You were the...
I did. I've been watching your stuff since almost your beginning.
Well, I proved
Started
it.
in, what, January, February, and I...
February
somehow found you in
2020.
April.
February 2020, I called COVID before COVID was even a thing. And that's when I started. And then, remember, we got...
And I had some of the first COVID patients that were
almost
quarantined on the cruise ships in San Francisco and Seattle.
I almost died before our spring vacation. Part of the reason I'm divorced, she didn't realize that me and my daughter had COVID, and there was times that I just couldn't get a breath, right? And
Right. I got it in March.
no, March is the real month that everyone got it. I got it in early
My
March,
dad got it in January.
and it was actually hitting the U.S. in September of 2019. I did a report on that too.
Yeah.
But you know what? My best videos were proving the ISS does not exist, or at least all the video we get from it.
Especially the ones with the mice running around on the outside of them.
Well, those were
Those were epic.
more recent. And you know, NASA, how can NASA strike me? I'm a U.S. citizen. How can I be struck by NASA? And remember,
Is it a private corporation?
no, it's a government. I argued this. And you know, I'm no longer paying my dues. I'm not an attorney, but I argued it. And the other thing I argued was they were doing 27,000 miles an hour through the atmosphere, but no vibrations, and their hands were able to touch the screens,
Yeah, I remember that.
touch above them. And then I did 30 videos on the ISS, and they were...
They were working their iPads like they were laying in bed.
Oh, you remember then. I didn't know if you'd been there that long.
I've been here.
But you missed the first 30 when I proved there was no ISS. I absolutely proved it. I guess everyone that works at YouTube or Google must know that by my videos, right? Remember the other night when I showed y'all the cable? I got lucky and showed y'all the cable. I had every contract. I go for contracts because if the augmented virtual reality contract is bigger than the jet propulsion contract, you know there's a problem. Remember, guys, never get on any of those things.
It
Don't.
makes you wonder. They keep talking about we're going to colonize Mars. What are they going to do with all those people that volunteer to go.
What's up, Stove? They're going to put him in the Gulf of Mexico, bro.
At the bottom.
You don't believe me? You think I'm kidding? That's what this is all about. I told y'all. Hey, look, wait. Two. Let me just say it again, because I am saying this to NASA. No, I want an explanation. And I actually have somebody great at spaceweather.com, and he's from the ESA, and I'm friends with him. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to be nice as shit. I'll even, you should Facebook friend me. But I'm going to ask him, why didn't we have a proton or electron uptick with these two solar flares? And look, there's the electrons. We've had, when they say we're not having that space.
I'm glad you did the report, because they would probably say, oh, Iran is shooting missiles at everybody.
Look, space weather alert threshold, we haven't touched it in 7 days. That's electrons. Then this is protons, 7 days. I wanted to show y'all. It didn't even bump. Now, remember what happened when they said that the opposite side X8 flare happened? We had a proton storm with those white dots, right? And then this went to the red up here, and not only the 10 million votes, the 18 million votes, 100 million votes, and they just invented last week. Let me prove this to y'all, because I know y'all don't believe until you see it with your own eyes, which I don't mind. Let me prove this to y'all. They're going to tell y'all right here, I'm going to expand this, that we just invented, look, this is sad. Oh, they took it off. They just invented 500 million volts. Do y'all know how much 500 million volts of energy is?
5 suns.
If it touches you, you won't even
More
remember.
than 5 times 25 suns.
Yeah, so you won't remember your name, how to piss, how to eat. You'll be like a baby in a man.
You'll be vaporized.
Well, you could be vaporized, because every human is an electrical being. Just for me to grab this mouse and move it around, it takes like trillions of electrical
signals.
Yes, sir. That's why I love Dr. Joy.
Conduction.
That's why Dr. Joy loves me too. He knows I know. When we're getting screwed, at least we know it. And I guess that's not a lot of compensation for getting screwed.
No.
P. Diddy at least gave you 10 grand.
Oh my God.
Can y'all believe Kushner's going down? Jay-Z?
Should we do like the Vegas odds and make a bet on whether or not he ever sees a trial?
I can do it right now. You know I will. He's a dead man walking.
Oh.
Let's do the Vegas odds on election and see if they've changed yet. If anyone's around, we don't even really care. Election odds for I'm going to type in Vegas, but you guys, never ever bet on election if you live here in the U.S. It's a felony. So I want to say that this is for all the, out of 194 countries, 174 watch me. This is for the other countries only. I want to make sure YouTube heard that, right? Other countries, right? Vegas odds first. I put it first on to presidential. I'm almost able to type as quick as if I skip the leave one day, the 220, and the other one, everything freezes up. Just the 220. 4 days ago, 1 day ago. I like iCharts. That's my iCharts is one I used to use when I was a better. All right, let's see how bad it looks. Oh, Kamala. Oh, gosh. I've never seen this before. This is what we call dead even. You vote 110 to get 100 back. Both of them. Now,
Yeah. Something's fishy.
I've never seen a 50-50. Vegas always knows they're not going to lose money. We're going to look at some more odds here because that's crazy.
What if you had made a bet, you know,
on
2
Biden,
months ago,
on
when the odds were
Biden,
different?
you would have lost all your money on Biden because his
Really?
yeah.
Even if you were bet, you know, when it was 80 to 1 or whatever.
Oh God! Listen to this, guys. Cover.com. Another look. They want me to log in. I'm not logging in. They're the same. So 52.4% probability, implied probability for each. Now this is
They're doing that so the rest of the world doesn't bomb us because they need to have them have hope.
Have hope that
If they know Trump is getting in for sure, they're going to take their attacks out now.
is that right?
They're going to do their agenda. It's an agenda. Everybody's got an agenda. All these countries have an agenda.
So here we have
They
something.
can't really throw real big missiles there. We know Iran has bigger missiles than those little tinker toys they sent over.
Hey, those were hypersonic. The U.S. can't even
Yeah, well-
field one.
But they didn't have the strength behind them. You know, like the blowing up
No,
power.
they weren't 500-pound bombs. Is what you're saying?
Right. They were smaller munitions, so to speak.
On purpose.
They weren't chemical munitions. They weren't biological.
Oh, I heard Israel used phosphorus bomb on the
You don't want phosphorus to touch you.
today. Today they used a phosphorus. I'm gonna prove it to y'all. I never lie. Israel did it, and that's against the Geneva Convention. Happened today.
That water just causes that to burn more. I mean, it's...
Do you think that's what
if it
happened?
gets on your skin, it's going to burn through to the bone.
Do you think that's why the water ignited that plant in Georgia?
Yeah, probably. Because if you put water on phosphorus, it explodes.
That was the only thing that could cause it. Watch
It's
this.
kind of weird because, you know, ATP is phosphorus, right, in our bodies. It's our energy molecule. It's the explosion that causes things to happen, but it's such a
So,
minute amount.
Isn't it funny when I say something, it's always true? 9 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 10 hours ago, white phosphorus bombs used on Lebanon. Israel should have never done that. It's against the Geneva Convention.
Right.
And
And if they strike Iran back bigger than Iran struck them, the whole world's going to turn on them. Because it's kind of like a tit for tat, right? Tick for tat.
It's-
Tick tock, tick tock.
it's and they said there's no casualties, no air bases were hit.
Yeah.
Did you see my satellite photos? I went to M Labs to get their sat photos because that's who I use. That's who the government uses, right? And
Right?
Israel had put white clouds covering, and they stopped at the gates of the Air Force bases, right? I mean, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. So obviously, I heard they took out about 25 to 30 of our F-35-2 Lightnings, and most of 2 bases and a portion of a 3rd base. And I showed y'all last night on the live. I'll show you again right now. I don't care. This is what Israel did to It's called Mar Labs. It's a Colorado company that is always awesome. So I went to Marlabs, sat photos of Israeli air bases. This will do it. Y'all gonna laugh your ass off if you didn't see this last night. Watch. See if we still got it. They're actually showing the bombs hitting now. This is bad. This is Novotny Air Base. See the holes? They gave up, I guess. These are holes in the runways, guys. I told y'all, if that many hypersonic missiles come in, the Iron Dome, David's Slingshot, and Arrow, that's the third one, Arrow. I've learned so much about defense this week. I knew they couldn't stop them all. But I will show y'all from tomorrow. Let's put in latest. I wanted to show you the clouds because it was laughable yesterday. But look, these are big holes in the air bases themselves. These are satellite photos. Now, yesterday, I can't play sensitive content on YouTube. So I guess they gave up on trying to hide it. They just went ahead and showed where the bombs hit. Well, what can we do?
There you go.
So the Iron Dome can't handle hypersonic missiles, just period. We're going to finish this real quick and get back to Dr. Joey. We've only got a huge sunspot on the backside and a small one coming out here in green. 2 more slides. I just wanted to say one thing. This is still reverse polarity, and this is in the southern hemisphere, not been named yet. White over black, reverse polarity. Dr. Joey, why does every sunspot that comes around is reverse polarity, black over white, white over black, northern hemisphere, southern, and then they become normal when they get here, or when they are Earth facing. Let me rephrase that a bit. There's 285, and we're about done for the night. And let's see if they're even, look, now they have, oh my gosh, I'm about to freak out. Now they're saying that the CME is not going to hit Earth. Because it was fake! I guess they got my message, right?
Right.
Look what they just did. This is not.
Now they can't EMP us this weekend.
Listen, this is NASA's ISWA Goddard Spiral, and if y'all notice, they have it hitting stereo ahead, which is now behind, in Mars. And look, you saw my reports earlier today, and you saw my questions. I already talked to NASA and NOAA today, and now they've switched it. Now, it was facing more to the south on this diagram than the north. But look what they've done. Look what they've done. I mean, this must take everything they've got. This jackass is at us again.
It has ruined the plan. They cannot claim it was Iranian missile hitting us.
He's calling everything before we pull our bullshit off is what they meant to say. It's because God tells me, you know that. I only have one friend, you, God, and a few others, but you know what I mean.
Right.
You know, I got them.
It's all good.
Isn't it NASA Goddard ISWA Spiral? And now that big X flare that was it directly Earth facing, or y'all just?
It was. I watched that video today.
It's not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not,
The sun moved. The second moon.
Oh yeah,
Shifted it.
it's only 10 meters wide. Everyone says
It blocked
some asshole put a picture up. He said, I got a picture of the second moon. I said, go fuck yourself. It's only 10 meters wide. He had a whole moon up there. It was silly, man. Silly shit. Can y'all believe they just moved the Isra Spiral off Earth with a direct hit to miss Earth? Because there was never a solar flare. If there was a solar flare, guess what y'all would have seen? A proton storm and electron uptick, as that will now shove in everyone's face at NASA, NOAA, and the ESA.
And someone at NASA just got bitch slapped.
They hate me. It's just me. I already.
I don't even panic anymore and I'm not going to panic until James says, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, you know what? When I see discrepancies in data, and it seems like I'm the only one that can. All the other space weather channels.
Oh, this big CME, this big X flare is going to cause volcanoes to go off, and
Stove.
probably the Cascadia and the volcanoes
Hey.
over there are going to...
Did y'all hear my earlier video at 1 p.m. today? I was working by 8. I said, hey, something's wrong here. There's no proton storm, no electron storm. But then they modeled it. And I was like, well, they have it incoming. It was like a super CME. And now, all of a sudden, even though it's directly...
It's clear.
It's directly they're facing. It's gone. How much hate do you think they have for me at these agencies? Remember, I put everything together, and the sad part is they used to tell the truth.
Right.
That's so much the sad part.
Did they really tell the truth?
They really did, Dr. Joy.
Like they'd been to the moon?
No, not about that. We've never been to the moon. The first.
You're a liar.
The first Van Allen belt is 37,000 degrees. Nothing that you know of. Tell me something that has a melting point over 5,000 degrees. I looked into it for like 6 hours one day. There's nothing. Not even iron. Nothing you can find. Not diamonds. Nothing. And guess what? Today or this month, last month, they announced there was a third Van Allen belt. Right?
Bird.
Right, so we can go through, and they all take hours to go through. Could y'all understood? Me and my dad laughed tonight about me.
So it's like we were all born on a prison planet.
So it took me a year to talk my dad out of us going to the moon because he saw it on TV.
You ruined my whole. I always said, they came back from the moon on my birthday. 1969, Labor Day, 1969.
I had two Secret Service, two cops. My dad helped me out of the Flight Museum in D.C. After I saw the little capsule, they said 4 people traveled back from the moon 244,000 miles. It's like, well, how'd they shit? How'd they have food in there for 2 months? How'd they do piss? How'd they do anything? Right? Anything. You can't open the window and piss out the window, right? And so I was laughing so hard, I actually couldn't get myself off the ground. And while the police dragged me out to put me in the front of the building, it's a flight museum in D.C., guys. I was like, I was laughing so hard, I still remember it. My dad says, you need to behave, man. I said, Dad, don't you see it? Don't you see it? Well, finally, he sees it. I had to prove to y'all how, I'll do it right now for the dumbos. How hot are the Van Allen belts? Hot are the Van Allen. Now, we have a new one. They found a third one. We thought we had one, then 2. Well, we encountered problems and difficulties. We can't go back to the moon. let's see if we can get a good, how NASA worked.
They can't go back because everybody's carrying around an HD camera.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Those, even like 10 years ago,
Even the telescopes.
those
They
are-
can hook their iPhone up to.
those Olympus cameras or Olympic cameras, you can see everything from those. Let's just see how hot they are, right? We're not going to discuss if we went there or not. Let's just type in a little bit easier. Temperature of... Oh, you think I've typed that in before? It just comes right up. That's weird. I wonder why. It could... Let's get an easy one. This is probably an easy one. Probably an easy one because I already pulled up. It can be about 35.
I only have a few minutes and I gotta go give her her pain medicine.
All right. Well, we'll try to get it quick. But if y'all don't take my reasoning for it, look it up for yourselves. Y'all find out that the temperatures are over 35,000 degrees, and there's nothing that we have that can even come close. Under the highest melting temperature I could find was a substance I've never heard of, but it was still in the 4,000 degree level, right? And this is another propaganda deal, right?
What was that, lava? Lava melts everything, right?
Right, and they actually gave us a temperature last time. I was just looking for temperatures. Oh, they don't want to give a temperature anymore. They probably went through the whole Google and erased all the temps after last week. I did the same thing. Y'all look it up yourselves. Tell me y'all did something.
We'll go to Yandex and look it up tomorrow.
That's right. That's the only way. We'll hit Yandex real quick. All right, let's see if we get a real answer. And can you believe you have to go to the Soviet Union to get it?
A response?
They give you actually everything in order and by search results. Belts. And we'll call it after this if it doesn't show up, but I'm sure it will. Temperature of, I can already see it's going to tell you, 35,000 degrees Celsius, which is over 70,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to do it? I already know it is.
Oh, God.
I got screwed up. That was Celsius. 40,000 degrees Celsius. 35,000 degrees Celsius. They don't want y'all to see any of this. Carbon fiber, 4,200 degrees Celsius. Van Allen belts, they're showing it to you right here that they lied. Aluminum, which was what ours was, 2,400 degrees Celsius. I'm showing it to y'all on the screen right here. 35,000 degrees. Actually, that is Celsius. The Fahrenheit is much hotter than that. I don't know the conversions, but it brings it up super, super hot. But there's nothing that we have. There's only one thing that can take temperature over diamonds, and I've not heard of that. It's a new man-made, if you will, element. And look, they're showing y'all what we've got. Aluminum, 2,400 degrees. Iron, about 2,000 degrees. Carbon fiber, I didn't know it was that good, 4,200 degrees. They only needed times that by 10. Only by 10 to get through the first Van Allen belt, right? I wonder what Elon's Starship's going to do made out of aluminum foil or tin when it goes through it. I just wanted y'all to all know I never lie. Y'all all need to realize that no people in a little spacecraft. That's why the guards had to pull me out of there laughing. They didn't want the kids' experience to be ruined. I couldn't stop laughing because I'm educated, right? And so many people in the world are not educated. Let's see what 35,000 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit is. 35,000 degrees. And then we'll go after this. So, let's see. I don't know how to spell it.
CELCIUS.
CIUS 2 FAR FAR N
FAR
EN HI EIT. Y'all are gonna like this. The conversion tables, it won't be good for y'all. Especially the believers. It just won't be good. Alright, now we have it. 35, 1, 2, 3. 63,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And actually some of the belts are harder than this. I'm going by what y'all saw. Y'all saw space.com, nasa.com. 63,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now y'all tell me, this is how I proved it to my dad. I mean, he felt like a ding-a-ling because in the 60s you believed everything you saw on TV, I guess, right?
Right.
Can you believe it's 63,000 degrees plus Fahrenheit? I just did. It's on the screen.
You just did the conversion, so I have to accept that as a truth.
And the melting point of the strongest thing we have on Earth, I already did this too. I'll just show y'all real quick. Highest, it's under 5,000. Highest melting point of any material on Earth. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even just put Earth. 10 materials that you can tell have already been here. It's blue. There's number one, I've never heard of it, tantalum. It's under 4,000 degrees. And then we move into graphite, just like I told y'all. And then we move into, now, you'd have to times any of these by 10 just to get up near there, by 10. Then we move into diamonds. I told y'all. When I say something, please realize that I've done the work. That's why it's already purple. With that said, great to hear Dr. Joey on the line here, guys. I don't think these are real solar flares, just my opinion. If y'all can take pictures of the Aurora Borealis or Aurora Australis, please do. Love to see them, but there is a chance that they're crazy enough to drop some small nuclear bombs on the North and South Pole to create these auroras, because they're listening to me right now. And once they see this film, they're going to be much more angry, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And this will go to the director. It'll go to everyone. Did I tell you?
All right, guys, you have a great night.
Hey, everybody give...
I'll try to get back sooner.
Hey, everybody give Dr. Joey a thumbs up. God bless everybody tonight. DJ, I know you have your hands full. You're doing a great job, and you're one of the only stand-up individuals that I've met. Well, not one of the only, but one of the few. I appreciate you, man.
You're standing up too, James. It's just a different way.
Well, I hear you, man.
Yours is important. Anybody can do what I do.
Well, anyone can do what either one of us do as long as they're willing to do it. Right?
That's right.
So-
Yeah.
It's all about the will.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Well-
Remember, get up and tomorrow decide to do something.
Positive.
That's right.
Do
Be
something
the
positive.
positive change.
That's right. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Love you, James.
God bless you. I must say I love that mofo. Love that mofo. All right, it's late as shit. Adrian Campbell. I'm calling them all out. Stuff you can call in. I might make one more drink. It's probably too late to do that, but shit. After me just proving that we never went to the moon again. You want me to take a picture of my dinner? I will do that. Steakhouse dinner waiting for me. As always, it's a sad life. Sad life. I guess I'll have lots of young secretaries soon. That'll even be sadder. But for them. Right? I'll call P. Diddy and get some advice. I'm kidding. It's a joke. We say Adrian Campbell. You want to say hi, Stove? I know we cut you off the other night. Adrian, if you can call in, we'd absolutely love to hear from Australia. Absolutely. I know it's expensive. It sounds like you have a much better calling plan than I do. And we'll be live for a few more moments, but it is getting late here. I don't have to go to work just quite yet. So I'm taking advantage of my time, right? Anybody. Well, if not, God bless you guys. Lots of love to all you guys. It's me sending my dad information. I'm still trying to educate him. From those movies he saw, in 1967, I think he was born in like 47 or 44, I think. Oh, nobody worry about it. I probably need some sleep. Hey, lots of love to everybody. I just want to allow y'all to have my platform. If you guys have anything to say, that's all I can give y'all right now is my platform. So that's why I offer that to you guys. It's not like anyone's watching. It's not like it matters. But I love Stove. I love Adrian. I love all you guys. So my platform is your platform. Period. With that said, yep, it's almost here. He's doing good, but he's got another one coming. With that said, God bless each and every one of you guys. Appreciate y'all. I hope we don't leave on the 8th or 9th. All the theologians and all the priests say we are. I pray that we're not going to. I just want to spend more time with you guys. And you guys know it's a slow onboard to the big company back into the oil business. But for me, after YouTube has screwed me from making several $100,000 a year down to making nothing, I gotta make a move, right? We're gonna keep all the YouTube channels, keep the Rumble channels, everything's going up on Rumble. If you ever go to Odyssey, Everything's going up on Odyssey. Look, yeah, everything goes up on Odyssey. Everything goes up on DLive. Everything goes up on everything. Even our live right now is up. Look, there's P. Diddy with a freak off. They pay me in cryptocurrency on this one. Look, it was a direct hit, like I told y'all. So, I don't really know how any of these platforms work. I end up giving 60% of all platforms to someone else to run them. I gave one of my monetized channels away to my father, and I have one more. I'm looking for someone that wants to make some content. You know, Dan's still got 61 subscribers after he didn't take my offer 4 years ago. I checked today. You want to go see? 61 subscribers. You know, I've got a little something special here. But hey, he said, it's not my fault. Can I redo it? I said, no, you call me a piece of shit and a liar. You can't redo shit then. Right? 4 years later, 61 subscribers. Same thing with Jacob from Efren. Same thing. 5 years later, he's not subscribed. He stole my software out of my house. So, God knows. God knows. I'd just like to say I love you guys. Thank you all. And we all need some rest, so let's hit it. Let's hit it. I love to see Adrian Campbell. I always love to see Stove. If you don't know that, even though you're from Cali, I love to see you. Going back to Cali. I don't think so. I always love to see Stove. Always love to see Lois. All you guys. Darlene, kind of new to the game, but hey, God bless you. You've been nothing but sweet and gracious. So I have nothing but good to say about you. Dale Parker in the house. Great to see you. Love all you guys. We'll be back tomorrow evening. And I hope y'all watch some of the videos I put together today. They're very important. I picked probably the 6 best videos that y'all need to see from the day, and I make sure to make them professionally done, hopefully, and hopefully y'all watch them and share them. I realize a lot of people can't buy a cup of coffee anymore. I know what's going on around the world, but hey, sharing them and bringing one more person over to vote for conservative values instead of screwball, tyrannical globalists. I'm trying to pick my words lightly, and that was as light as I could come. Thank y'all. God bless. Share and subscribe. Love you, Dale. God bless.